Today we will learn from an immortal game. It's called Schlechter's Immortal. It featured also a very interesting opening, which is B4, which is called the Polish or the orangutan.
Wow.
So we will also explore that a little bit as part of the lesson.
Very nice. I disliked the Polish opening a lot because it's always scary. Just don't know really what to play against it. And there's like a tiny little trick here and there when you open up with the e5 pawn. So maybe I'm learning one or two things against it.
Yeah, yeah, let's do that. It was Bernard Fleisig playing as white and Carl Schlechter playing as black. So it will be against it will be how to play against that opening too.
Nice.
There's also the Polish defense, which is d4, b5, has very, very similar ideas, but as the black side.
Okay.
But in this game, b4. So Schlechter played e6.
Clever.
And I don't know if you have you heard of his name before?
Carl Schlechter, yes, definitely rings a bell, but I
Mhm.
wouldn't. Yeah, and I even heard that he made like a. I'm not even sure if I. No, I didn't look at this game yet. No, no. But
Okay.
yeah, there is some fame about him.
Yeah, there's a few things about him. So he was most known for his match against Emmanuel Lasker for the World Championship.
Of course, yeah.
And he was actually leading that match by 1 point going into the last game. But after a very dramatic last round, it lasted like 3 days. Um, they kept adjusting it, adjudicating it, and he later blundered the winning game into a drawn position and then into a loss. And because back then, when a match ends in a tie, the last champion retains his title. That's
So
how Lasker
no
remained the world
Armageddon?
champion.
Unbelievable.
So he was almost the world champion, which I think a lot of people don't know that as a
True, yeah.
fact. Um, it's also easy to forget. And he also has some contributions to opening theory. So there's a Schlechter gambit and the bird's opening. There's his variations in French defense and the Slav defense. So that's maybe how sometimes his name has come up if you've explored them before.
Hmm.
But yeah, against this orangutan, you have mentioned e5, and that is one of the best moves as well. And you were probably talking about the tricks here of do I take this pawn, giving it up for this one? It's a bit unclear, and it is okay to go for this. Perfectly fine position for both sides. This is how you would sort of play it. Sometimes people like c3, some top players play this. And yeah, the game goes on. Everybody gets the center just in a
Hmm.
weird bishop development way. There's also d5 against it if you would like. And that's, I would say, about it. There's e6 is sort of a very solid approach to it. And actually, I had this in a classical game this year.
This
And
year?
and I played e6 because I was like, I don't know about the others. E6 is solid.
Just like Carl Schlechter.
Yes.
Wow. Did you have any clue that your opponent would play before? No, yeah.
No, I prepared other things, but this opponent was sort of unpredictable, so maybe maybe that was part of it. But
Hmm.
it was a fun game. I like when people play something unconventional.
Okay, cool.
So in both Schlechter's game and in my game, there was bishop b2. That's always what white follows up with. Knight to f6, just to make sure that this bishop is free. Now usually white defends, a3. And in my game, I played a5.
Ooh.
And it continued on with um, d5 later and bishop to d6, just a very good active position. I ended up making a draw, but I was much better as black, which is usually can happen in this opening if white sort of starts misplaying it.
Hmm.
But in Schlechter's Immortal Game, he played c5, which is a more popular move and maybe better if you were to choose among these two. So now what black its idea is just to take the center, and white needs to decide what to do with this pawn weakness that has just been created. The best move is to take, but even here I find that black is doing okay. all all the pieces look solid and no problem in developing. But in his game, the opponent went b5.
Oof.
Very, very typical in this orangutan opening. The pawn goes here all the time, prevents the knight, and that's just generally where the pawn likes to be. But in this case, it kind of lets black have everything they want. But not only that, the usual way to continue now would be e3, but white made a slight inaccuracy or mistake with d4. And my question to you would be, how would we punish this?
Huh. There's already a punishment. I mean, we can immediately win a pawn, but the question, no, we cannot. We can not immediately win a pawn. So of course, queen a5 comes to mind, but the knight goes to c3, and then we
Hmm.
could give pressure with knight e4, but yeah, is this actually already all it needs? I
You're on the
wonder.
perfect track. So Queen A5 is for sure the first move that you should look at, and it is a very good move. If white blocks with anything else, then we win this pawn.
Yeah, so
So
the
knights,
uh, oh
yeah,
yeah. Knight c3 is important. Yes, that's true.
yeah. Otherwise, we'll just take it. Knight e4, like you mentioned, perfect. And now the position is already technically winning because just positionally, all of black's pieces are working and white's are weirdly placed. And when that happens, usually tactics tend to work also in black's favor. So that is why the position is winning because sort of black has a tactical resource in basically every line. But of course, it's not that trivial, and the game still continues. So the best move was actually very sneaky by white, is this to play e3 and let the knight take it because there's queen to
How
d2.
cool.
This trick exists in some other openings, I forget, but it's definitely it definitely exists.
That's so funny. I
Exists.
didn't have that on the radar at all.
Yeah, no, me neither. And neither did the Bernard
Yeah,
Fleissig
I,
because he played queen to d3,
that's the
which makes
only thing
sense.
I saw.
Yeah. So now a different problem arises. Like I said, every line there's sort of a tactical issue
Oh
that white
gosh.
needs to deal with. So now bishop to c5. Very, very strong attack on the queen and also the pawn behind it on f2. Of course, the queen has to do something and it will also try to invade on g7. And now my question for you is, would you take on f2? And people at home can also try to do it alongside us.
There we go. Even that I didn't have on the radar. My goodness. So f2 check, king goes aside. But what do we have then? Rook goes to f8. I believe that we might have something stronger here. Couldn't we just... So, no, I don't think taking on f2 is good. That's my decision. I have the feeling there is some better tactics. I...
So what would you play instead?
Well, that... Well, Svitlana.
No, that's
How shall
already
I
too
know
too far.
that? No. So I'm thinking about d4 and sacrificing the rook. But the d4 is too... yeah, maybe not. Why not d4?
It's very similar to what you said. Basically, there's two good moves. One of them is rook to f8. Just protect the rook and
Okay.
continue the attack later. Continue all the threats. And the interesting thing is that on e3, that seemingly protects, there's bishop to e7, which I thought
Oh,
was really nice. And there's no way to protect against it
that's so
well.
brutal.
It's a very cool move. So that was one of the solutions, if anyone found it. And the second part of the puzzle was that taking with one piece is good, but with the other one is bad.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Well, I don't
So
think it cannot be good with the knight. Yeah, exactly.
knight is not good. You're right about that. So we lose the rook, and then white has some nice resources where they can take our bishop on c8 as well. And even if they white has lost some pieces in the process. Black is actually down a piece. So not the best situation to be in if there's no follow-up. So instead, bishop to f2, check. The king has to go, and now your d4 idea is what he played in the game.
Oh, that is so good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now the queen took the rook, the queen took the bishop, so many pieces just got sacrificed.
That
But it was better for white to not do that. It was still sort of savable after this, even
what?
though it looks really dangerous and scary. But if white manages to eliminate that, this one could still be okay, sort of even material. I'm not sure how they got to even material here, but something like this would still be okay, even though black is better. But in the game, queen to c8, that was a mistake. So what do you think black had planned here when they sacrificed a rook and a bishop for it?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, there's also the check on b7, which is next. So
Yeah,
there
it's a bit
must
annoying.
be some beautiful way on how to end this game.
It's not as direct as you think.
Oh, damn. Well, what to do now? Well, if we have sacrificed so many things, maybe I would No, it's not possible. I cannot go knight c6 because queen b7
Yeah.
is not pleasant. Ah, how
Yeah.
to do this best?
Well, first, do we want to take this knight?
That's the question. I mean, if we take it, there's still the check on b7, but maybe white has to react. Yes, white has to take back, I think.
So
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, c3 is actually like d takes c3 is quite straightforward.
that is what he played in the game. That was good. So yeah, you're right that this check is sort of bothersome, but also if you think about it, we have a huge threat of the pawn taking here
Yeah,
and this. So okay, let's say I even play this. Maybe it's not the absolute best move, but even this I would think is pretty good.
yeah, that looks
So
horrible.
that's true about it's true that d takes c3 is a good inclusion.
Hmm.
If the bishop doesn't want to deal with that, there's only one way to go. And now there's there's a few good chances. There's this one, which is personally what I would have played, is maybe just take, defend, and threaten queen to d5 mate. But he went even fancier with knight to d7 to give up another rook. So the opponent took the rook,
What a
queen
fool.
takes b5 to threaten queen d5 with the
Hmm.
mate. Now bishop here. There has been at least a place that cleared up for that king. And this is, I think, what maybe earned this game its title because now black is down so many pieces and goes on to sacrifice a few remaining ones. Can you find the quickest mate now? It's gonna be mate in 7 from now on.
Yeah, so now for some reason it feels as if I know this game again. Maybe it's this position, but it looks familiar, and I'm trying to figure out. There was a beautiful full way on how to continue here. Ah, how was this?
So what do we want ideally?
Checkmate.
Yeah, we want checkmate, and we want it with this queen. So if the queen like goes in somewhere here, that's it's gonna be over.
Yes. But check, check, check. King goes out. Check. Oh, okay. So this has to be calculated, of course, but
Yeah.
queen d2 check.
I knew you would calculate that when this I saw it on your face. I knew you would say this one.
So now we
Okay,
take with the pawn.
yeah. So the king has a few options. I think this one is best because that one
Okay,
has bishop d4.
and after bishop e3, how can white defend queen d c8, right? That's all it needs.
Yeah,
No, it's not true.
but then
That's
there is
another
this mate.
checkmate, yeah.
That's a good one. So
So,
what about this pawn going up to, well, I was going to do
yeah.
c4, but let's say
No,
c3.
white cannot move this pawn.
That's
It's not
denied.
working, right? Oh no, what a pity. Okay, good. So I didn't really calculate, obviously, but I
No, but
thought
that's a
like,
good one. I think that one is definitely worth calculating. I just thought you might do that because whenever there's a queen sacrifice, I know you'll do it.
typical Arnie. Okay, so,
No, so
well,
queen d2 is what we want, but
yeah,
we
yeah.
need to distract the bishop.
How do we distract the bishop?
Yeah.
That is so funky. E5, is this too slow? It's too
Yeah,
slow.
it's too slow.
Oh, I cannot figure it out. I don't want to.
Okay, no, I'll give you the first move because first move is a bit weird. Bishop e3. Distracting it on the same diagonal, but the second move is what does it. So remember, d2 is one of the squares that we want, but we
Yeah.
can also threaten something on d1,
Yeah, so
which we
knight
can get.
f2.
Yeah. So the bishop freed up that square. Now the knight goes there, and we're threatening this. If the queen gets here, it's very bad news.
That is
So the
so
bishop takes,
cool.
and now,
Now queen check.
yep.
Now another check on d1. Then we take the pawn with checkmate.
Yeah, so that's how the mate in seven was there from the start.
Are you
Well,
kidding
like
me?
there's maybe like another way to
I
prolong it by one move,
I'm
but
not sure. I think okay, so this is completely I didn't see this game before. I was wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this is super interesting. I would have probably but this is completely new to me. So
So it's a very old game. It's from 1893, so it's
that's
maybe
why.
one of the very first Immortal games. It's yeah, so it's quite old, but it's famous for this final tactic. But
Oh,
no, it's not as known as some other Immortal games, so it's not.
fantastic.
That's why I chose to show it, and because it also included a fun, irregular opening. But if anybody plays this against you, it's nothing to be scared of. I mean, I was also scared when somebody played this against me, but
But you
after I
don't have to.
analyzed with the engine, I was like, dang, I shouldn't have been scared. But it's always like that.
Minus 0.5 from the get-go or something? No, right?
Usually equal, but it's a bit on the black side always. And if white does something wrong, then it's more like 0.5 on black side.
That escalated quickly. Still, it's an
Yeah.
interesting surprise move.
It is a
Well,
cool surprise.
and this game was a cool surprise. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Svitlana. Thank you, everybody, for watching. See you guys
See
next
you
time.
next time.